Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you're doing so well. If you don't know me, I'm Sid. I go by the blind artisan because I am a visually impaired artist on a mission to become the best artist I can possibly be, and I'm so honored to have you here. In these videos, I typically like to talk about topics that are important to me and that are resonating with me as I am going through life. And so this week, I felt like talking about the importance of chasing your dreams because our dreams as artists are important, but I feel like they're not talked about enough. So here I am. But yes, in these videos, I like to talk about topics that I care about, also while sharing slices of my life. So if that's something that you're interested in, then grab a cozy drink and your sketchbook or tablet, and let's be creative and have this impactful conversation together. And let me know in the comments what your dreams are. I would love to know. Starting off, I really want to talk about the importance of chasing your dreams and having dreams in the first place. I firmly believe that dreams are planted in our little minds for a reason. There is no accidental dream, and from that, those dreams can give some sort of direction. Whether your dream is to be a potter and own a pottery studio or have a pottery business, or to be an artist in your own right and to be a painter, those dreams give you directions and sort of give you an idea of what type of impact you can make in this little life. And something that I've noticed from personal experience is that my dreams sort of expanded over time as I kept chasing them. For example, I've always wanted to be an artist and to create art for myself because it just made me so happy. But from doing that, I realized that I wanted to take my art further and sort of impact people's spaces, which turned into me making designs for mugs and making hoodies and other things. So I feel like dreams can sort of shift and change as we grow as people, and somehow I feel like that's how they give us that sort of direction throughout our entire lives, because our dreams are never stagnant. They grow with us, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And I believe that as they grow and as we grow, we sort of fall into our purpose in a way and start making impacts beyond ourselves. Like I mentioned, for the longest time I wanted to be an artist, but I felt like it was more for my own personal impact, my own personal fulfillment. So it's really cool that it sort of translated over the years into me doing something that hopefully speaks to others and that maybe helps others and that allows me to connect with other creatives too. So it's really awesome how dreams can start from within, but expand to make an impact to the ones around us. Guys, look at how cute this mug is. I feel like it turned out so cute, and it's always so surreal seeing your goals, your ideas in your little head just translate into real life, especially just as an artist. It's a healing moment, it's a beautiful moment, and it's something I'm always grateful for. And yeah, I'm just so happy with how it came out. And I also made a chrysanthemum mug today for an order, which is exciting. I feel like I've finally gotten to the rhythm of how to make them without messing up so much, which is really cool. So I feel really proud of it, and I think that the customer is going to love it and it's going to make their day a little bit more whimsical and colorful. But yeah, this wisteria mug, I feel like it's so dainty. It reminds me of a fairy garden almost, just very cottagecore-y, very whimsy, very magical. And I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I hope that you like it too. But I think what we're gonna do now is go ahead and pack this one up because it is time for her to go to her new home. A common theme that I feel like many of us artists face is not necessarily not knowing our dreams, but really allowing ourselves to feel like we are worthy of our dreams and of our goals and of the life that we want to live as artists. And whether this is because maybe you don't feel like you are a good enough artist now, or maybe you don't feel like you are worthy, or maybe you have been told that having a career as an artist is not a stable one, or maybe you're just afraid of looking silly trying. But I think that the biggest step that we can all take is allowing ourselves to entertain our silly dreams. Because, like I mentioned earlier, I believe that our dreams, our aspirations, the things that we feel called to, are not there by accident. They don't just pop in our head by accident, but they are there because they are a sign that maybe that is the direction that you should go in. Maybe that is leading to some sort of grander purpose, grander fulfillment. And you should chase those things, even if it scares you. Matter of fact, if it scares you, that might be the direction that you need to go in. And if I'm being honest, if it scares you, it might be a career that could be helpful to other people, or a path that could be helpful to other people, and that you could be a trailblazer in, that you could make a difference in. And beyond that, beyond making a difference, beyond other people, proving to yourself that you can do the thing, proving to yourself that you can entertain your dreams, entertain those silly little ideas in your head, is an act of self-compassion, self-love, and is necessary. Because the only times that I've ever felt regret has been when I never gave my dreams or my ideas a chance. And remember, the only real definition of failure, in my opinion, is when you just don't try at all. That's the only time you fail. But trying doesn't lead to failure. Trying leads to success, leads to learning, leads to growth, and ultimately leads to you getting to where you never imagined you'd be. And I think that's a great thing. 2 years ago, I decided to entertain my silly little dream and to give my little whimsical art a chance. So I started posting on social media and posting reels, and I have to admit, I was socially anxious. I was scared of getting DMs because I was just scared of people, and I have to admit that the pandemic definitely had a huge impact on my social anxiety and my fear of interacting with people. But as I kept on posting and sharing my art, I was met with so much love, more love than I could have ever imagined. And I was able to connect with all kinds of different amazing artists and different art lovers. And I was able to allow my work to speak to other people in a way that I never thought it could. I never imagined that my work would be perceived in such a beautiful way, because I've always felt like my work was kind of weird and hard to understand sometimes. And not to say it's not hard to understand, but in a way I feel like I found my own little creative community that I'm so grateful for. But that wouldn't have happened unless I actually, gave my ideas a chance, gave my little dream a chance. And on top of that, my social anxiety gradually got better. I've gotten better at having conversations with people, about speaking about my art in front of people. And yeah, I'm not perfect at it, but it's been a journey, and it's been a beautiful one. And I wouldn't have been able to appreciate it unless I gave it a try. And it's something that I'm really grateful for. I'm happy I gave it a try. I'm happy that I'm still doing it now. And here I am yapping on a YouTube channel now, which is insane. So when you embark on your own journey to achieve your dream, it's not about the destination, but it's also about how much you grow in the process, how much you learn about yourself in the process, how much your goals shift in the process, and how beautiful that is, because you just find that you end up just morphing like a caterpillar to a butterfly, and your dreams change and your ideas change and your standards grow, and it becomes a lovely experience. And yeah, one of the things is that I'm really happy that I've been able to sort of document my journey in the way of social media, where I can look back and just see how far I've come. So one of my tips for starting your own journey or chasing your own dreams is to document your journey and to appreciate every little step, because every little step really does matter. Another tip that I have that I feel like has been really helpful, and it might sound cliche, but it sort of piggybacks off of what I mentioned earlier, is to listen to your heart, because oftentimes our dreams will shift, and it's a lovely thing. It happens when we are getting to know ourselves. It happens when we get to grow as people. But oftentimes, our dreams may get grander. Our dreams may go into a different direction after we realize that what we thought we wanted isn't what we wanted after all. But that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of taking action and of living and of being and of experiencing, right? So don't be afraid to listen to your heart and to listen to yourself and to pay attention to how what you do makes you feel, and don't be afraid to pivot in whatever direction that you need to. Your inner voice is your biggest helper, is your biggest advocate, so don't ignore them. Instead, lean into them. Matter of fact, I'm sure that when you do, you'll find that a lot of things fall into place. There will be a lot less resistance. For instance, something that I started leaning into is pattern design with my mugs, and it's something I've enjoyed, but it's just something that I haven't really given myself the space to lean into because I didn't know how it would fit into my curated vision of my life as an artist. And so when I started doing these mugs, I immediately started feeling so fulfilled because I feel like the patterns came naturally, and it was just something that I deeply, deeply enjoyed. And so now it's something that I lean into more and allow myself to experience more of. And not to mention, I'm lucky enough to have sold some mugs, which is really, really cool too. So yeah, when you start to listen to your inner voice, you'll find that there's a lot of things that sort of will fall into place, and it becomes a really cool experience, and you'll end up in a different situation that you would have never expected, but in a good way, in a really, really, really good way. On another note, here I am actually working on January subscription rewards, and look at them go. This month's theme was Wisteria, and I'm so proud. I just wanted to pop in to show you how the little prints came out. So first off, we have the little monthly sticker sheet mock-up, and I feel like it came out really cute, and I'm excited. I think if I didn't do this so last minute, something that I would have done is maybe opted to make the backgrounds of these clear. So when you place them, you would have like the yellow rim, but then the rest of it would be clear. I feel like that would look pretty, but it just gives me more ideas for future months. But I think it's so cute, and I think it'll go really well with the mug. Then we have this month's mini print, which I think is super cute, and I like it a lot. The purples took a little bit of testing to print, but I feel like I got a good mix of softness and vibrancy that I was looking for. And I feel like you really see it in this print, which I think looks really good. I love it so much. I think it's so whimsical, and I'm really happy with how this concept came out because when I was initially drawing it, I was so nervous. So just to see it come to life, it feels so good. I'm so happy, and yeah, I hope you like it too. Speaking of dreams, I feel like subscriptions has been a dream of mine for quite some time now, and it's crazy that this is my second month really pouring into my dream. I feel like the first month there was a lot of resistance, but mostly from fear, mostly from feeling inadequate. So this time around, it was really exciting to take photos and to feel more confident with putting my little ideas out there. And look how the photos came out. I feel like they came out so cute, and I'm really grateful that I've been pouring into my dreams like this. It's been something that's been really lovely and something that's been really rewarding for me. And I hope that this inspires you to give your silly little dreams a chance, because you may find that they weren't that silly after all. Speaking of, I wanted to share some tips for those of you who may want to chase your dreams but don't know where to start. So hopefully you find these tips helpful. I feel like these are steps that I've gone through, so it feels really cool to sort of pass them on, and hopefully they bring you inspiration. Maybe you can unpack them and define your own little steps. But yeah, I'll just share what works for me. So my first step, of course, is to define your dream. And I feel like this comes really, really naturally. It can be as broad or as toned in as you want it to be. Like maybe your dream is just to be an artist, so you start sketchbooking, or you create these actionable goals around just being an artist, around focusing on your craft, right? And then another step number 2 for me has been set realistic and actionable goals. So like I mentioned, if you want to be an artist, then maybe like practicing your craft and finding what medium that you enjoy is where you would start. So maybe you want to learn how to just sketchbook every day and bring up that habit, or maybe you want to purchase your first set of paints and try them out, or yeah, like anything, any actionable step that is fun for you and that you can hold yourself accountable with, like just drawing every day for 30 minutes. Like all these things are actionable steps. And then another tip is to surround yourself with people that have similar goals as you, or who are living that dream life that you want to live. And this could be drawing with some artist friends at a coffee shop or on video chat, or even just finding YouTubers or creators online that inspire you and just consuming their content and learning from them. One of my favorite creators that I've loved learning from is Uncomfy. She just really inspires me so much. She's one of the reasons why I had the courage to start my YouTube channel. So yeah, just keep your eyes open for creators, artists, people that inspire you. Something else that might be really helpful is setting dedicated time to just pour into your craft and to learn. I feel like we all have chaotic lives and different schedules, so just having certain times during the day where you know you have time to draw and to fill your own creative cup can be super helpful. And this also leans into the learning thing, setting dedicated time to learn and to be open to new opinions, new perspectives, and learning new things can really help improve your art and help you find your own direction when it comes to your own dreams. Something else that I think has been really helpful is also documenting your journey. And this doesn't mean that you need to share everything online or anything online for that matter, but to just have a sketchbook where you can look back at old sketches, or even just little videos that you keep to yourself that you can look back on to see how far you've come. So on those days where maybe you're feeling discouraged or down or like giving up, you can look back and see that you've done so much and you've come so far. Those moments are so helpful, so just keep track of your journey. And my final 2 goals are to start before you're ready and to believe in yourself. I know that this journey is gonna be a scary one. It's always scary to try something new, but remember, you've got this and your journey is going to be a beautiful one, but you just have to start, and it's always gonna feel uncomfy, but it gets a little less uncomfy along the way. We are back from the UPS store, which was a nice walk, and I honestly miss going on those. I feel like after I've gotten my electric bike, and also since it's gotten cold, I haven't been walking around as much, which I forgot how much it means to me to move my body, but more so to also be out in the world and experience that and watching people live their lives and the birds fly and seeing where nature is at in that seasonal cycle, because it's so interesting. My neighborhood, my area, it looks different during the spring, the fall, the winter. Like I feel like in Georgia and just on the East Coast in general, I guess we get the 4 seasons. We don't get snow, so maybe not. Maybe we get the 3 seasons, but kind of like 3.5, because like the leaves still fall off the trees. We still feel the bareness in winter. It still gets like, 20 degrees, which is pretty cold, but also I'm from the South, so is it cold? I think at a certain point, cold is just cold. But yes, it was just nice. And I think I want to be more intentional about like pushing myself to go out and experience the world even when it feels inconvenient, which is usually when it's cold. But anyway, we're back home, and last weekend, my friend's mom actually gave me this beautiful plant. I hope you can see it. It's so gorgeous. Look at those roots. Just beautiful. Ugh.
I hope I'm capturing it. It's so funny when you're using the rear facing camera. It's so hard to tell, but it's gorgeous. I love it. And seeing her space, my friend's space, and she lives with her mom and her grandma. So seeing her space was just beautiful. I didn't take videos because, you know, people's space is people's space. And I feel like it's meant to just experience, not to just film. And also it's just a privacy thing too. But it was gorgeous. It's like I walked into a space and I felt so at home, alive. They had so many plants, so many like vintage items that they've collected over the years. And yeah, anyway, I got this plant and they also gave me a couple more plants because plant people are so great. They're so generous. So I figured we would pot her together. So I have this little pot that I got a couple years ago. It's so cute. And I have rocks at the bottom so that there will be some drainage. And I'm just gonna just plop her in here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to watch this plant thrive, and it's so cool because I've never had a plant like this before. So it's going to be really interesting to see how caring for this one goes, because I feel like my monsteras, I've gone to a comfort zone with them, and I feel like they've gone to a comfort zone with me where, you know, they know I'm going to come around and take care of them eventually. But so I wonder, like with this one, is it going to get used to the fact that like I will take care of it, and just, you know, I'll come around eventually? Or will it be one of those things where it's more needy and I have to get used to it and tending to it? Either way, it's really cool because I feel like each type of plant has its own personality. I know it sounds so funny and woo-woo, but I feel like that's the truth. They have their own personality, and you get to learn more about it as you take care of it. It's so funny because sometimes I'll forget the name, like how I have different monstera variations, like this regular monstera and then my Swiss cheese monstera, right? But how you can forget the names, but you'll know, okay, but they need water every 10 days during the winter or whatever, or I don't know. It's just really cool how you really get to know more about yourself and more about plants as you own them. And it's something I'm very grateful for because they're awesome. They filter your air. They're beautiful. And I even saw this reel that, number one, talked about them being able to talk to each other telepathically, which I thought was really cool. And then also how they can sense when their owners are coming. So they'll like do a little wave, but it's not like, you know, so obvious or whatever, but it's like enough for you to like, for it to be caught slightly on camera. I just thought that was so cool. Maybe one day I'll try to film something like that, see if they can tell when I'm coming. I don't know, how would I even do that? But here we go. This is the plant. Ugh, she's so pretty. Look at that lean. I should probably move her to the light. Ta-da! Ooh. There she is. So pretty. So gorgeous. I hope she's supposed to lean like this. I have her pretty like deep in here, but maybe I need to add some more soil, so I might do that, but she's so cute. Here she is. I added a little bit more soil. I think she's just a heavy girl, a little more top heavy, but oh, she's so pretty. I've never owned a plant like this, so I'm very excited to see how she thrives and what she grows into looking like. But yes, and she looks really pretty in this pot, so I'm very pleased. Okay, final note before we close out this video. Throughout this video, I was working on my wisteria collection, and I'm just so beyond happy with how it came out, from the mug design to the print to even the little sticker sheet. I feel really happy about it because for me, I started on it last week. It's currently January 3rd, which is crazy. And so I started on it last week and I was feeling really frantic about it because I had so many things going on and I felt like I was being pulled in so many different directions. And so to come through with this collection feels really amazing. I feel really proud of myself and I'm so happy. And yeah, so it's just from the mug design to the print, to the sticker sheet, to even like the website, and even just sending out my email. I felt like I could send out my email, make a post about it with a lot more confidence, which feels really good. And it all comes back to starting is always the hardest thing to do. But when you do start, it's always going to become easier over time. I really do think that starting is half the battle because I remember last month how I felt compared to this month. It's almost like night and day. Last month it was like pulling teeth to get me to post about my subscriptions because I was so nervous. I saw people who had like Patreons and different subscriptions. I'm like, ugh, that couldn't be me, but I want it to be me. And so to get to this point where, I did it and I was afraid, but I did it and I got 1 subscriber, to this next month where I feel a little less afraid doing it. I was able to approach it with confidence and to push out pieces I'm proud of and get a couple more subscribers. Feels amazing. I feel so fulfilled. I feel so proud, and it makes me just proud of just showing up even when I don't feel good about it, even when I'm afraid. Doing things scared is like the biggest gift that you can give to yourself because you'll look back and be so happy that you did. So if there's anything in your life that you feel like you're called to do, but you're afraid, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, starting to draw again, learning a new medium, doing your own subscription service, posting consistently on Instagram, Threads, whatever platform, just know like starting is always the hardest part, but that's always going to be half the battle because once you start to build up this momentum to where you just get excited for the act of doing, for growing, for learning new things. And I think that is what's important. I mean, obviously the vanity metrics are cool, like having a bunch of subscribers is cool, having a bunch of likes and followers and stuff is cool, having people, a whole bunch of people to send things to is cool. But you know what's really cool? Being able to do what you love and to be able to say as you showed up for yourself and be able to say that you proved that you could do something, to be able to say as you did the thing, because that's what makes you a winner. That's what makes you cool. That's what makes you just amazing. I mean, you're already amazing, but that's the admirable part. The vanity metrics will come along the way, and they're great, but they're not things that you can control. Things that you can control is how you show up for yourself and how you choose to entertain your silly little thoughts, your silly little ideas. So that is my little speech. I feel like I say something very similar in almost every video, but maybe it's because I know that that's something I am constantly working through and something I'm constantly pushing myself to do because it is hard to just continue to show up and to not care what people think. But then when you are able to be authentically yourself, you're able to find like people who are kindred spirits and who really vibe with what you have to put out there. And that feeling of finding people that resonate with what you do and who you are and what you bring to the table, and it's just priceless. And yeah, and the only way you're going to find those people is by starting and by showing up for yourself and by writing down your silly ideas and by entertaining your seemingly silly thoughts and by being the trailblazer and by making the little version of yourself proud. So yes, okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I appreciate you so much. It means so much to have you here, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye.